first thing I told my friends just then was, you know, there's a whole bucket of things that we might not even go. This story is called The Jungle Chicken. There's no such thing as a jungle chicken, he said. I said, well, of course there is. We're looking right at it. We were, in fact, in a jungle in the island of Moorea, which is the second largest island in the Tahitian island system. And we were standing there, and there was a chicken in the middle of the jungle. And we didn't know how it got there, and we didn't know who it belonged to, and we didn't know if this was its natural habitat or whether it had been like brought over by some farmers on vacation and they just forgot it. And it, you know, was breeding. But he said, no, there's no such thing as a jungle chicken. And this is the sort of thing that he liked to do. We'd been married a year at that point, and he was fond of me saying some sort of fact, some irrefutable, natural, normal fact, and denying it just to piss me off. But this was our honeymoon, so we weren't supposed to get pissed off. We were supposed to go hiking in the middle of Moorea, this beautiful island where the plant vegetation hung over us with yesterday's rain still fat on the leaves. And we decided to go hiking to a mountain that we could see. We didn't know where there was a path. We didn't know how to get there, but we could see it, so we decided to go. We were going to be that kind of tourist that was off the beaten path. You know, we weren't just going to stay in the hotel because we weren't those kind of hotel people. Also, we couldn't afford to be those kind of hotel people because we couldn't afford this trip, like, at all. We had saved up for a year, and his father had paid for most of the airfare, and we could afford to eat one meal in the hotel a night. The rest of the time, we were sort of walking around the perimeter of Moorea, like looking for the cheap food, which was really just like the Polynesian version of Goya, and like things were mango and nectar and strange. And so we had packed like weird little nectar things and a little bit of trail mix and decided to hike in the middle of this island that was only 51 miles around, and we had no idea what was inside. So we hiked up, and we took our pictures at the top, and we did not do this on our smartphones because this was 2004, and I think the first thing that happened on this trip was we had heard from somebody who was on our trip with us that A-Rod had been traded to the Yankees. So that gives you a sort of time frame of this. So we took our pictures at the top, and we were very proud of ourselves, and we started walking down. But as we started walking down, we quickly, as you can imagine, got fucking lost. Like, really, really lost. Like, there is jungle around us and a waterfall, a beautiful waterfall, and his theory was, okay, we'll just follow the river because the river goes down and will obviously not take us to the outside. Like, I really couldn't figure the logic of why we had to follow the river, but the river was apparently where we needed to go. So we followed the river down, and he had the wrong shoes. Like, he had these like jelly shoes that he bought there, which was sort of like Polynesian ghetto slippers. So he was wearing his Polynesian ghetto slippers, and I was wearing probably not enough, and we were just walking down and slipping and falling on things, and I was getting mad because he was going faster than me, and we were 1 year into our marriage, and I didn't like that he was going faster than me, because nothing will make you yearn for chivalry quicker as a feminist than getting left behind. So I was watching him go farther and farther down the river, and I was mad because he wasn't waiting for me, even though I would be mad if he was waiting for me because, you know, we're equals and we're partners, and we're 1 year into our marriage, and there is a fucking forest chicken because I'm looking at it. There's, well, maybe this is a forest, maybe this is in a jungle. Is it a forest chicken? No, there's no such thing as a forest chicken either. Well, we keep walking down, and I keep seeing chickens, and they are mocking me. Because they exist, and I'm looking at them, but he will not acknowledge their existence for me. He just won't give me that satisfaction. We're just walking, and we're getting more lost, and we're following the fucking river, and I don't know what kind of logic that is, but it's not working. And I get a little panicked, you know, because we put everything into this vacation, just like you put everything into your marriage, and all I know is that I can't see the way out. All I know is that I see chickens all around me that exist even though we won't acknowledge their existence. And I get a little, you know, upset. and we sort of hide under the waterfall, and I wait for the sort of mist and like moss and whatever to sort of hide the fact that I've been crying. And I gather myself and I say, well, we're gonna get out of here. So somehow we follow a river that leads to a trail, and somehow we dig through brush, and somehow I get really, really mad and really, really hungry as I get farther and farther behind. But we carve our way out through the jungle, and we make it to the road, and somehow we make it to the place where we'd seen some other people camping, so we knew that that was the right place, and we walked all the way back to right near our hotel where we vowed never, never to leave again. And that became the most memorable aspect of our trip, because as you all know by now, it is the struggle to get out. It is the struggle that is the marriage. And it's been 10 years since we got married, and I don't know what's gonna come next, but I do know that we're no fucking chickens.